So this is Heidi Huber, and she is an athletic trainer and physical education teacher at Castellea School in Palo Alto, California. Heidi, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here. So first of all, why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about what an athletic trainer really does?
An athletic trainer usually works underneath a physician, and it can be at a high school, a club, a college, or at the professional level. And we evaluate, treat, and rehabilitate, strengthen injuries, athletes' injuries. And we usually coordinate with physical therapists, strength and conditioning professionals within the community to keep the kids strong.
Now, I was an athlete years ago, but I want to know, has anything changed, especially kind of in the athletic trainer relationship, in terms of, you know, a lot of times the athlete is feeling something and you can't feel it, so is that communication really important? Has anything changed?
Well, there's certainly a lot more athletic trainers at the high school level, and so athletes are learning earlier on what an athletic trainer is, what they do, and learn to communicate with the athletic trainers about their injuries, what's going on, and what they can do to prevent their injuries. And they're learning younger and younger ages.
Okay, so you've worked with really high-level athletes. Tell me about that a little bit. What teams? Some USA teams?
This past summer, I worked with the junior national water polo team, and we went to the World Championships in Portugal.
Wow!
So that was lots of fun.
Was that your first time traveling overseas with a team like that?
Yes, it was. I hadn't seen international competition before.
That's fabulous.
It's pretty amazing.
And so what does that bring to your job now? You're at Castellea. This is your first year there, although you've been a trainer for over 15 years on the peninsula. Yes, so you've worked for a long time. But what maybe does that experience bring to this job?
Well, definitely, I've seen a lot more high-level athletics, and have learned a lot more about strengthening and conditioning techniques through that, so I can then bring it to the girls at Castellea and hopefully bring them up to a higher level.
Well, the most important thing that I wanted to talk about with you was really that element of play, because I talked with you before, and I really buy into that whole thing for girls today, because most girls in America are not serious athletes. And so we want to talk about that, but I think we're going to go to a video first, and this is about Bossy. And Bossy is a new organization in San Jose, California. They are all about creating after-school fitness programs for girls, especially girls who need the support, and also how to build self-esteem. So we can take a look at that video right now. So what are they doing right here, Heidi? What does it look like?
Well, here the children are learning different movement skills, and the coaches are working with them and showing them that it's lots of fun to get out and move and to play games. And you don't need to have lots of equipment. You don't need a gym. You can get a ball and a playground and go grab a bunch of your friends and have a good time and run around and play a game. You can make up your own rules, you can make up your own parameters, and you can have a great time doing it.
Yeah, because it looks like, well, they're skipping. They're having a lot of fun here. So it looks like it's not really like this forced, structured team, but they're out there just kind of learning how to do some of these skills.
Right, and a lot of the girls forget some of these skills, or children in general, but especially girls, because oftentimes we aren't encouraged to get out and move. And so these girls are learning skipping and jumping and going through hula hoops. Hula hoops are great pieces of equipment. And learning or relearning basic movement skills.
Wow, yeah, because I know I grew up with 4 brothers. So I know I was naturally out there climbing trees, but I really understand what you're saying about girls having to either learn or relearn some of the basic physical skills.
Right.
And look at that, they're just having a ball.
Exactly. And again, there are teachers and adults playing with them and interacting with them.
Well, thank you to Last Kid Productions for filming that. They're actually doing a documentary on Bossy, and so we'll look forward to that. And also Marlene Bjornsrud and Brandy Chastain, who are running this organization, are just fabulous. So Heidi, looking at that video and thinking about what you're doing at Castellea, I know that I went through some pictures, and there's some girls that are on there bottoms or their backs, and they're balancing balls on their stomachs, and it looks like it's kind of like this, almost like a circus routine, but
we try to show the girls different ways of staying fit, and that we don't have to have, again, a gym that you can grab a ball or you could exercise anywhere and have a good time anywhere, because you're not always going to have a gym. And so we try and teach these girls various movement skills, playing in different environments, and that it's fun. And we try and just show them all the different ways that you can, and it's limitless.
So tell me about some of the classes, because you were saying things about yoga, and I don't know if a lot of girls these days really do yoga, but that's just one of the classes that you guys have at Castellet.
Right, we're fortunate we have some fantastic yoga teachers, Pilates, spin classes, we'll have a rock climbing wall, and that's just some of the classes that these teachers, some of the newer teachers are teaching, and with our new fitness center that we'll have. But we play capture the flag out on the softball field. We play flag football. So there's a variety of classes every single day, and they rotate every other week.
So it's classes and games.
Exactly.
And that's that, again, that element of play.
Right.
So tell me about some of the athletic nutrition that you might just kind of feed them a little bit of advice.
We really promote fueling the body, and so we want the girls to really look at the food that they eat is fuel for their body. It will give them energy for their task at hand. We want them to learn how to eat before a game so that they have enough to get them through the game.
So what's like a couple pre-game or playing types of foods that you would recommend? Just like 3 or 4 foods that you would recommend.
I'm a big fan of pasta, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and Cheerios.
Well, PB&Js are my favorite.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially on that Wonder Bread, which probably isn't the best for you. But
no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, I am so thrilled that you came on the show today. We're going to have a little bit of wisdom here for everybody, but first I want to introduce a book. So hang out here for just a second. On every show, what we want to do is we want to tell you about an excellent book that you can be introduced to, and this is called Respect. And what I really believe is when you're going after the goals in your life and you have that motivation and that desire, is that you really need to learn how to respect yourself. And Courtney McAventa is the author, and she's actually been touring with another author, and they're really teaming up to teach girls all about how respecting your body, respecting others, and respecting people in your family is just a wonderful element, and that really does teach you how to become a leader as well, because you're leading in your own life. And I also want to just go over a couple of things that we talked about today. I mean, I heard about motivation, I heard about passion and pioneers, and playing and getting fit. And really, the thing that I loved about the Julie Foudy Leadership Camp was choosing to become a leader. So I want to leave you with this. Believe in yourself, respect yourself, and keep that motivation, and you can become a leader of your own life. Thank you so much for coming and watching Girls Are Champions today. Everybody come and join us on the show today. Thank you so much, Natalie. Thank you, Rachel and McKenna, for coming, and Heidi, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. We'll see you next time.